Welcome to Honeybee. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Real stories of love, lies, and betrayal, where every truth stings. Let's begin. My name, Key Harry. I'll never forget the sound of her voice that night. It wasn't a whisper. It wasn't an argument. It was a cold, clear statement, one that sliced at me like a blade. I had just returned home from work, exhausted but trying to hide it. My shift had been long and draining, but I still managed a faint smile as I entered the house. I loved coming home to her, or at least I used to. I believed that no matter how hard things got outside, this house would be my safe space. I was wrong. As I placed my keys on the counter, I heard her speaking in the living room. She was on the phone with her mother. I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but her voice carried through the walls. At first, I thought it was just a normal conversation between a daughter and her mom. But then her words hit me. "I can't keep living like this," she said. Her tone was sharp, bitter, almost shaking with frustration. "Mom, I'm divorcing him. I can't live on his pathetic salary forever. I didn't marry him to struggle like this." My chest tightened. The blood in my veins felt like it stopped moving for a second. Those words didn't just sting. They shattered something deep inside me. For years, I had been working as hard as I could. I never had a glamorous job. It wasn't something that would impress anyone, but it was honest work. I left early in the morning, came home late at night, and gave everything I had, not for myself, but for her, for us. Every extra hour I put in, every bit of energy I spent, every small dream I postponed, was all for the life we were supposed to build together. But in that moment, I realized something brutal. None of it mattered to her. Her voice grew even louder, almost as if she didn't care that I might be home. I should have married someone more ambitious, someone who could give me the kind of life I deserve, not someone who's content with this. She said this like my entire existence was a mistake she wanted to erase. I stood frozen in the hallway, unable to breathe properly. My hands were shaking slightly, and a dull ringing filled my ears. All those nights I thought she was just tired or distant. They weren't just moods. She had been building this wall inside her for a long time, and now she was ready to burn everything down. Her mother didn't seem surprised. I could hear the calm, almost approving tone on the other end. It was like they had rehearsed this conversation before. "Yes, sweetheart," her mom said faintly. "You deserve more than this life. You're still young. You can find someone better." It felt like my marriage was being disassembled piece by piece, in a quiet, casual conversation between two people who didn't even realize, or maybe didn't care, that they were destroying me. After she hung up, I didn't rush in. I didn't yell. I didn't throw anything. I just stood there. Hello. The house felt colder. When she finally turned around and saw me, her face lost its color for a second. "How long have you been standing there?" she asked, her voice suddenly unsure. "Long enough," I whispered. My throat burned as I forced the words out. Her expression shifted quickly from shock to defensiveness. She crossed her arms. "You shouldn't have been listening to my private conversation." I let out a broken laugh. "Private conversation? You were talking about our marriage like it was some kind of inconvenience you want to cancel." She didn't even deny it. "Well, it is," she said coldly. "I'm tired of pretending everything is fine when it's not. I'm not happy. I want a better life." I stared at her, searching for some trace of the woman I fell in love with. But all I saw was someone who had already walked away in her heart. "Better life," I repeated softly. "Do you mean a better life without me?" She hesitated, then nodded. "Yes, I'm not going to spend the rest of my life struggling because you're stuck." That word, stuck, burned. I had dreams once too. I had plans. But I put so many of them aside to make sure she felt secure, to build something stable for both of us. She used to tell me we'd grow together, that love mattered more than money. Now it seemed love had an expiration date. "I'm sorry," she added, but there was no real regret in her voice. "I just can't keep doing this." Something inside me broke. But strangely, another part of me felt clear. I could have begged. I could have tried to convince her to stay. But why should I hold on to someone who already decided I wasn't enough? I took a deep breath and said quietly, "If that's what you want, then I won't stop you." Her eyes widened. She didn't expect me to agree so easily. Maybe she wanted drama. Maybe she expected me to fight for her so she could feel important. But all I felt was exhaustion. She opened her mouth, but didn't know what to say. I walked past her and went into our bedroom. Every step felt heavy, but my heart was strangely steady. I sat on the edge of the bed, thinking about the years we'd spent together, the late-night talks, the promises, the laughter. It all felt distant now, like an old photograph fading away. That night, I didn't cry. I just stared at the ceiling, realizing I had given everything to someone who measured love in dollars. The morning after felt strange. The sunlight came into the curtains, but it didn't feel warm. It felt like the beginning of something new, but not in the way I had imagined. She didn't speak much. She avoided looking at me, moving around the house as if I was a stranger. She probably thought I'd wake up and try to fix everything. But I didn't. I was done trying to prove my worth to someone who had already decided it wasn't enough. Over breakfast, the silence was unbearable. Finally, she spoke. "I wasn't expecting you to agree so quickly," she said cautiously. I looked at her and replied calmly, "You made your choice. Why should I fight for someone who doesn't want to stay?" She fidgeted with her cup. "It's just, I thought maybe we could talk about it." "Talk about what?" I asked. "How much my salary doesn't make you happy? How my love isn't enough for you? You've already decided what matters most to you." She looked away, embarrassed. "It's not just about money. It's about security, about the future." I nodded slowly. "I understand. You want a future where you don't have to worry. I wanted a future where we face those worries together." For the first time, I saw a flicker of something in her eyes. Not love, but maybe guilt. She whispered, "I didn't mean to hurt you," but she had. And not just with words, but with the weight of everything unsaid. I stood up, walked to the living room, and sat down on the couch. "I'll sign whatever papers you want," I said firmly. "I won't make this harder." "Just like that?" she asked, surprised. "Yes, because holding on to someone who doesn't value me isn't love. It's self-destruction." She didn't respond. And maybe, deep down, she knew I was right. As the days passed, everything started moving quickly. Divorce papers were prepared. Mutual friends were shocked. Some whispered behind my back. Some pitied me. But strangely, I wasn't broken. Yes, it hurt. It hurt in ways I can't fully describe. But I also felt lighter. For too long, I had tied my worth to how much I could provide. I thought love was about sacrifice. But real love is about being valued, not measured. I packed my things quietly. She didn't stop me. She didn't even cry. It was like we both knew our story had ended long before that night. We had just been pretending. The last time I saw her, she stood by the doorway with her arms crossed. No tears, no goodbyes, just silence. And I walked away. For weeks, I replayed that moment in my head. But instead of pain, I started feeling gratitude, not for her leaving, but for finally seeing the truth. I had spent years trying to be enough for someone who would never be satisfied. Now, I could finally be enough for myself. I got a smaller place. It wasn't fancy, but it was mine. Every piece of furniture, every quiet evening, every step forward felt like a reminder. I survived something that once felt unbearable. People sometimes ask me if I'd ever take her back, if she changed her mind. My answer is always the same. No, because love shouldn't make you feel like you're not enough. Looking back, I realized agreeing to that divorce wasn't weakness. It was strength. I didn't fight to keep someone who only valued me for my paycheck. I chose myself. And maybe, for the first time in a long time, that was enough